Welcome to FreshMind.com. My name is Eric, and we are going to model a basic chair. What I mean by basic is we're going to model a chair that doesn't have a lot of curves or anything fancy. I know that the chair that I'm sitting in, the seat is around 17 to 18 inches high. So I'm going to use that as a starting point. The first thing I need to do is go up to my Windows menu, go to the Settings and Preferences, go to the Preferences. About halfway down in the left-hand column, I'm going to click on Settings. And I'm going to change linear from centimeters to inches. I'm going to click Save. Now I can model in inches. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a polygon cube. Smooth shade that by pressing the number 5 on my keyboard. I'm going to open up my attribute editor. And I'm going to go down to the Inputs node. Click on Polycube 1. And I'm going to change the height from 1 inch to, since the seat's probably an inch, inch and a half, 2 inches thick, I'll make the leg about 16 inches high. Now that looks a little skinny for me for a leg, so I'm going to change the width to, let's say, 1.5 inches and the depth to 1.5 inch. That looks a lot better. Alright, so now I'm half of my leg, so I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to hold down the control button on my keyboard and press the letter D. I'm going to use my move tool to move it out of the way. That's probably good like that. I'm going to select both those legs and I'm going to duplicate those, move those back. That looks good. Now I'm going to press the F11 button on my keyboard to switch to face mode. And I'm going to select the top 2 faces. I'm going to extrude those. Just a little bit more in half. So this bottom half is going to be a little bit shorter than this top part. So I want the back of it to be a little bit taller. And then I'm just going to push it backwards a little bit. Something like that. Alright, I'm going to press the F8 button on my keyboard to go back to object mode. I am going to copy one of these legs, or duplicate rather. I'm going to move it over, and I am going to just scale this down and over. Make it a little thinner. Move it up to the top. There we go. I'm going to duplicate that and move it to the back. I'm going to make it flush with the front of that edge. There we go. I'm going to duplicate it again. I'm going to rotate it. Go to my channel box and make it an even 90-degree rotation. And I'm going to move it to this side. Duplicate it and move it to the other side. Now the seat looks a little short, so I'm going to grab these 2 front legs and pull them forward a little bit. There we go. Alright, it needs a seat, so I'm going to create another polygon cube. Just going to scale it so it looks kind of like a seat. I'm going to move it up. Now if you notice, the only thing I really did a measurement on was the height of the leg. Now if you wanted to, you could actually measure a chair and do everything by measurement so it's exactly, but I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, and as long as it looks like a chair, then I will be satisfied. Alright, there's our seat. Now we need a back. Let's see, I'll copy one of these legs since it's already there. That's probably good. I'm going to rotate it. I actually hit the number 4 on my keyboard, so it went to wireframe, so I'm going to get back to shaded mode. I'm going to rotate this 90 or negative 90, either way, it wouldn't matter. And I'm actually going to do something a little different here. I'm going to, since this back is at an angle, I want this board to be at the same angle as the back. So I'm going to use a snapping tool. I'm going to go up to my modify menu. I'm going to click on snap together tool. I get a little crosshair on my cursor. I'm going to click on the back side of this piece of board, and then I'm going to click on the front side of this back. Now when I hit enter, it's going to snap that point to this point, like so. Now it's at the exact same angle as the back of our chair. And you wouldn't have to do that. You could actually just eyeball it and it'd probably be fine. Scale that inward. Duplicate it, move it down. I'm going to duplicate that again. I'm going to rotate. Just put it back to 0. Scale that up. Scale it thinner. And a little more narrow. Something like that. Now I'm going to duplicate. Move it over. Duplicate again. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put those in the middle. I'm going to make the back a little bit higher. Now, that's probably good there, but I think I'm going to like it better if I raise this up just a little bit. So I'm going to press my F11 button on my keyboard to go back to face mode. Select that face, hold my shift button down, select that face, and I'm just going to pull it up a little more. Press F8, go back to object mode, slide that up, select all these in the middle, use my scale tool. There, I like that a lot better.